welcome back to Coach's Corner. This is Coach Brian from Cause Events, and today we're going to be talking about some cold water swim gear. Now, cold water swim gear is kind of a misnomer because cold water to one person isn't cold water to another person. Everybody experiences temperature in a different way. I, for one, live in shorts all winter long, and people are always telling me, why are you wearing shorts? But I'm acclimated to wearing shorts. I like it. I have long pants. I've got jeans that are probably close to 15 years old, and they still fit, and they still look decent. But in the water, I'm a wuss. I really am. When it comes to getting in the water and staying comfortable, I'm a real wuss. And I've been in the ocean when it was 48 degrees, and I've been in the water when it's a lot colder. But I really like to swim when it's in the 70s someplace. But I have gear, and I'm going to try some new gear out. I've got some old gear that I've used here, and I'm going to explain some of it to you. But I've got some new gear I'm going to try out because I have issues with cold water, and I bought some new gear just for this sake. So let's discuss the Booties. And I've had these for a couple of years. These are Xterra Lava Booties. But one of the problems with these Booties is that they tend to fill up with water and become big balloons on your feet. So what I did is, and I'm going to be testing this out, is I put 2 holes in the top of the toes and 2 holes in the bottom of the toes so that water can drain it, can go in and out freely without ballooning up, and we're going to see how that works. I did that on one foot. This Bootie does not have that on. It works as a test. But at another time, I'm going to put a piece of Velcro around here that I can cinch up and strap and see if that prevents it. I'm doing this so that we can see what works best. I don't know if this is going to work. I have no idea. Okay, the next one is gloves. Again, Xterra Lava gloves. And I use Xterra because they're a sponsor. And I know that different manufacturers of Booties have different results. I've seen different people wear different ones with different results. I've never seen anybody have a problem with these. These are brand new. I've only put them on to see if I can fit them. They do fit. I'm going to swim in these things, see if it works for me, and I will let you know how that is. We'll see when I go. The next piece, brand new gear, is a thermal swim cap, and this is probably about maybe 1 millimeter to 2 millimeters thick. I'm not really sure, but it fits on your head, straps under your chin, and let's see how stylish this looks, okay? I'm styling now. Now, I can't hear very well in this, but that's okay. I'm not doing this to be seen or heard. I'm doing this so I can report back to you how it feels. Connects with Velcro. I've got another one that's another brand, and it has a cinch on the bottom of it, and it grabs, but the little buckle turns to the side, and it's not very comfortable, and the Velcro is starting to delaminate. It does keep my head warmer, but I don't really like it. The next one, I'm doing this simply because I want to describe it, is a diving hood. And if any of you have seen my previous videos on diving hoods, these are great in colder water, but if you're above 60 degrees or close to it, your head may overheat. 2 weeks ago, I was in 57-degree water with this same diving hood on. My arms and feet were freezing. My head was overheating. It was really an unusual feeling. I couldn't wait to get back to the shore and get the thing off my head because I was so hot. I was a hothead. Okay, the next piece is a diving mask. Now, this is a snorkel diving mask, and it has a snorkel here, and it will fit on my face like this. And I got to be careful of my little beard there. I don't know if you can hear me. It seems to have some sort of a talking diaphragm in it, but we're going to see how this works. Again, we're going to see how that works. It does have a mount for a GoPro, so I'm going to put my GoPro on there so we can see how I'm doing. It does have a snorkel. It does have a ball valve in it, so it prevents water from coming in. And you can breathe in, you can breathe out, but water can't get in there. We'll see how this works. It's got a nice flange seal around. My biggest problem is when I get in cold water, I get a ice cream-like headache right around my eyes. And it takes me a long time to acclimate. Sorry, the air quality is still bad here from the fires. It takes me a long time to acclimate to a good air temperature, to the good water temperature. I gotta let my face numb out. And I think this is going to go a long way to solving that problem in the middle of winter when it's when the temperatures are really cold in the water. And water is probably 55 to 57 degrees right now. I didn't swim last week because we had rain, and I swam the week before. It was 57 degrees, so we're getting near to the lowest temperatures of the year, which is usually here in February. And we're going to see how this works. Now, those are the pieces of equipment. I'm going to use the wetsuit I wore 2 weeks ago, which is a sleeveless, has moderately short legs, not short legs, but I trimmed the legs up. And if you saw my previous video on the wetsuit leg trimming, that is the wetsuit I'm going to be wearing. I'm using that one because I want to use it as a control. My core was fine. My arms and my legs were cold, and my face was cold, but my head was hot. So we're going to take a look. I'm going to be using this in conjunction with this. I don't know if it would work with this but this gets my head too hot anyway. So we're going to take a look at that and see how we do, and I'll get back to you. When I get out to the water, you'll get to see me with this gear on, and you can see what you think of it. And then you'll see me coming out of the water, and then we'll come back here, maybe in the studio, and give you an assessment on how this equipment worked. But I want to make sure that we do a good assessment on this. And again, these are, I've worn these before. This is a test. See if I can create these from being balloons. So everything's kind of like being worked on either for the first or in a new way tomorrow. And yeah, it'll be tomorrow out at Glorieta Bay. So that's where we have our weekly swim. We do it all year long, and you're welcome to come out. Now let me ask you, have any of you used this gear or anything like this? Down in the comments, put whether you liked or disliked it, or what you found worked for you, or was there something else that worked for you in cold water? Let me know down in the comments. Okay, we're going to go out there to Glorieta Bay in the morning, and we're going to do this, and then I'll get back with you, and we'll see how it works. All right? Okay, we'll see you then. Okay, welcome back. We're out at Glorieta Bay in Coronado, California, and we're going to be swimming today, but what we're doing is we're going to be trying some new gear, and what I've got here is the thermal swim cap, and you're going to see what I look like, how goofy I look with all this stuff on. We're going to be trying the thermal gloves I got from Xterra this week. We're going to be putting on this full face swim mask. Now it's got the snorkel here. This is not legal for competition, but it's perfectly fine to train in. What I'm hoping is this will keep my face warmer, because I really don't like the ice cream headache I get from having my face in 57-degree water, which is what we've got out here today. And then I will be putting my booties on. And I did make a modification to one of these, and we're going to see how that works out, okay? So, but one thing I will be wearing is my wetsuit. Now, I have trimmed the legs on these, so this is mid-calf, and it is sleeveless. And the reason why I'm using a sleeveless and not my full suit is because when I swam out here 2 weeks ago, I used this with a rash guard I have underneath this shirt. And my body was fine, but I had a diving hood on. And I'm not using the diving hood. My head got too hot, so I'm utilizing the scientific method, and I'm using the same stuff I swam in 2 weeks ago, only modifying a few things to see how that works. Okay, I'm gonna get geared up and we'll be right back. Okay, so right now I'm mostly geared up. I had to keep one hand out of the gloves simply because I can't operate my camera with the glove on, because I'm using my phone right now instead of my video camera. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but you can see I've got the Snorkel on it. I just have to make sure that the seal doesn't go over the swim cap. And I'm good all the way down here, so hopefully this will work. I think I'm going to have to strap the swim cap over the straps of the... I'm going to have to strap the swim cap over the straps of the face mask. Otherwise, I'm not going to get a seal because it's too close. Anyway, so I'm going to go in, show you what I'm wearing. Got the booties. I'll put the glove on in a minute, have the mask, and we'll see when I get out how everything's going. All right? Okay, so we got through the swim. This really did pretty good. There's a couple drawbacks. I really should spray some anti-fog inside the lens. It says it won't fog up. It does a little bit, not really that bad. And then occasionally seawater, some of the water will seep in around the seal. And that's not so bad because it blows out of the bottom on the exhalation valve. So it works pretty good in that aspect. My face didn't get cold at all. The gloves were pretty amazing. My hands did not get cold. The booties, they worked pretty well. One thing I did notice is the booty on the left foot, which didn't have the weep holes in it, collected more water. The one on the right, which had weep holes, didn't collect any water. Feet got wet, but there's no water in it. And the thermal cap did the trick, kept my head warm. So I would give everything, I would give the gloves and the booties and the hat A+. The swim mask I'd give maybe a B+, but I'm gonna try it next time with the anti-fog and with some Vaseline around the seal just to make sure it does seal on my face, and I will make sure I get a better seal. We'll try that out. So I would recommend them, especially if you're in cold water. My face did not get cold at all. I went out there, started swimming. As soon as my wetsuit filled up with water, I was gone. I didn't stop until I got back in. So give everything an A+, except the mask I give a B+. Okay, so we went out to Coronado, tried the stuff, and now I'm back home. Everything's been properly cleaned, hung out, dried, and so let's do a quick review. Okay, so we're going to start with the gloves. I really liked them. I liked swimming in these gloves. And remember, I was wearing a sleeveless wetsuit. And I did that on purpose because I wanted to be a little cold and feel the contrast of having the gloves and the booties and the thermal hat or cap and the face mask on. I wanted to get a little cold. I wasn't bothered by it. Maybe for 10-20 seconds, it was a little bit it was a little bit chilly, okay? But these were tight on my hands, and I do recommend getting the correct size. This is what size is it? Doesn't say, but I think I cut the part off. It said. Anyway, I think these were large, but they fit my hands. And the main thing you want to do is you want the base of the finger to come all the way down, and no gap in no empty spot in the tips. So that means your hands fit in there nicely. It was tight on my wrist, so I didn't feel a lot of water going in and out. So it was enjoyable. It made the swim quite comfortable. Okay, let's go to the Booties. Now, the Booties I've had, and I made a little bit of a modification. And, they weren't bad to swim in before, but I just didn't like, when I got out, having a lot of water sloshing around my feet. So what I did is I made some small holes, and let's see if you can see them here. I might have to put my hand in here so you can see the holes. There's a hole there and a hole there, and correspondingly a couple of holes above the toe. And if I wiggled my toes around, I could feel some cold water coming in and out, but my feet were very, very comfortable in these. And when I got out, I didn't have any sloshing water in them at all. I could walk around perfectly fine. My feet didn't get cold. And they do have kind of a grippy thing on there, so you're not going to slide. They were enjoyable. I definitely like these. I'm going to make a recommendation to the manufacturer about making a couple small weep holes in them, because I think it's a big plus. Okay, going on. Set those back there. The swim cap. Now, the swim cap was definitely good. It wasn't as hot as my diving hood was. And I know I didn't demonstrate the diving hood when I was out there. I wore it a couple weeks ago. I've worn it before. The problem is if the water's not cold enough, you're going to overheat. Your head's going to overheat, and it's going to be very uncomfortable. You're going to feel like your head's roasting in that thing. It's good if you're in much colder water. If the water was probably below 55 degrees and below, I'd probably be okay with it. However, it was 57 degrees. It was a little bit warm, but there was one thing I had to remember about this, and it goes to the face mask I wore. And the face mask with its corresponding snorkel. And the snorkel does pop on there. There we go. And then pop over there. And it does have a mount for a GoPro. I did forget to bring my GoPro, so I did not use that, and I will use it again. Now, I'm going to have to do some more testing with this, probably in my pool, which is about the same temperature as the water is at Glorieta Bay. This worked nicely. The one thing, my nose started running because I have allergies, and everything's in bloom here because we had a little bit of rain. And the wintertime is growing season out here in Southern California. It's also fire season, but it's also allergy season and growing season, because that's the only time we get rain is in the winter, early spring, and late fall typically. This was a good addition. My face didn't get cold. My nose ran in it, and you just have to go with it. Some water did get in, and like I said, I have to do some testing. It may mean I have to put a little bit of Vaseline or something around the seal. And I will do a video on this specific piece alone later. This is one that is going to need a little bit. And you can hear the ball in there. That does prevent water from going in. When I put my head down too far, it caught the ball, and then I remembered to tip my head back up a little bit. Unlike when you're normally swimming, you're not turning your head. You're just putting your head up to sight and then putting your face back down. My face did not get cold. I was very, very comfortable out there with my sleeveless, excuse me, a little itchy, my sleeveless wetsuit, and I had cut the legs. And you probably, if you don't remember, go back in the video and look at how short those legs are. I race in that suit. That's one of my two racing suits. And I trimmed those legs, and you can go back to the leg trimming video and look at that. That's the suit I trimmed the legs on. I can get that suit off in 10 seconds. Now, to me, that's important because I don't like to spend a lot of time in transition. Now, moving on with this. When I put the cap on, I put it on initially before I put the face piece on. You need to actually, but you can't latch it because you may latch it underneath the seal on the chin, and you can see the seal down here. This seal has to go all the way around your face, and you need to make sure here at the top that your swim cap or your thermal cap doesn't go under there, otherwise it will leak. The nice thing is this has an exhalation valve down in the front, so any water you're getting down here, and will blow out as you're exhaling. So that's a really good net positive about this device. If it does get water in it, it's going to go out. Now, I am going to have to use some of my anti-fog spray in here. And you can go back and look at the video about making anti-fog. I think it was one of the first videos on the channel. You can go back and look at that video, and it's basically 20 parts of water to 1 part Johnson's baby shampoo. And it works excellent. My daughter used it on her ski goggles this weekend. So, she had no problem with that. So everybody's using my spray, which is cool. I teach you this stuff so you can find a less expensive way to do this sport, because, hey, it's an expensive sport. This, I think, was around 25, 26 bucks. Like when I said I will do a video on this device specifically. It does have a nose cup in it. I really enjoyed swimming in this. The water seepage kind of annoyed me, but that may just be I had my swim cap under part of the seal and water seeped through there. It didn't bother me that much, but it made my face happy until my nose started running, and then it wasn't so happy. So definitely leave a remark in the comments about what you think about this, about any of the equipment that I demonstrated. Which one do you think you'd buy? With that, I'm going to say have a good evening, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye.